I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And I know this is a review for Freaky. This is a paid request. Thank you to everyone who has done and sent in requests. If anyone's interested in paid requests, you can send them either directly to my PayPal, join my Patreon. I will get to them as soon as I can. But before I get to the review, just a little update if you're wondering why this appearance. For those who don't know, Texas is going through a lot. The higher-ups in Texas were not prepared for the extremely cold weather and freezing temperatures. A lot of things screwed up. Long story short, a lot of things went down. So either you lose power, or you have no water, or you have frozen water, or they do this rolling blackout where sometimes you get power for a few hours, then someone else has none. But then yours gets shut off, and then they have some. So it might be even in the middle of recording one of these, but at least there's battery power, so I'll finish the video and such and wait till next time, but that's why. And, been a pain. This has been a hell of a week. But you gotta hang in there. Best we can do. So, right now, let's get into this. Freaky from 2020. Now I heard about this film. I like the concept of this film, where it's pretty much a horror movie version of Freaky Friday, which is Vince Vaughn plays a killer. Right there is pretty interesting. Although it's a much better job than what he did in the Psycho remake. I don't mind Vince Vaughn. I don't mind him in comedy roles like Swingers, but I don't mind him in serious roles. And here it's a mixture of both, depending on which character he's playing. And on one hand, it's a slasher film, very R-rated, some extremely brutal, crazy kills in this. On the flip side, it's a very interesting take on a slasher film. I'm open to that. Whether it be The Final Girls, whether it be Happy Death Day. Now, one of the complaints I had with both of them, although I do enjoy those films, was that you didn't really get the gore. That's not the case here. I mean, there's a character that literally gets split in half from one of those saws you have in shop class. All done practically. You get someone gets a bottle shoved down their throat and it gets hit and there's shards of glass there. You don't really get a lot in the third act, to be fair. But once in a while it pops up and it's pretty surprisingly gory. And the story is, it's a setup like a typical slasher. Kids telling a story. And they're even like, wait, it's been this long? What is he, a geriatric killer? Vince Vaughn, wearing this mask, kills some people. One of the things he steals from there is this artifact, which is a knife. Cut to our lead girl, who's with her mother and her sister, who's a cop. She's still dealing with the death of her father, and she's very introvert in school. She's the mascot. She gets bullied. She gets picked on, but she has friends. She has a black friend and a gay friend. So it does get the SJW points. But I will say, I think it's done better here than some other films. Yes, what people like, oh, it's very... No, I don't think... You know, people are, oh, it's men are evil. I don't really see that. Or if it did, the movie was entertaining enough that I could bypass that. Plus, you do have a white jock who is actually a nice, decent guy, so that falls apart of that argument. It's sad that I gotta bring this stuff up in today's age, but sadly, you have to. But I thought it was done fairly well here, and the actors did their jobs well. They did their jobs very well. They were likable, the performances were natural, and then one day, the mom is late to pick her up from school. Vince Vaughn tries to kill her, and almost like child's play. Well, maybe not. I mean, I don't know. That's what it made me think of. You know, this supernatural thing that happens among the slasher film. And the next day, their bodies are switched. So the girl is in Vince Vaughn's body, and Vince Vaughn is in the teen girl's body. And like I said, that's a very interesting idea. I like slasher films, but it's always nice when they bring something a bit different to the table when it comes to plot and story. I thought this did it. Now, some stuff that comes to mind, like I said, the kills are nice. One gets their face slammed against a toilet seat. One gets stabbed with a fucking tennis racket. Some nice, cuts to the neck. One person gets frozen and falls and breaks apart. So again, some decent kills. Vince Vaughn, when he's acting with the girl possessing his body, I thought this was done a lot better than, say, Jack Black in that Jumanji sequel. Well, now sequels. I thought Vince Vaughn was more funny. And when he's just playing the character, but it happens to be a girly character, and how you have Vince Vaughn by saying these things like, wow, it's weird peeing standing up. And I don't know, Vince Vaughn, I think, makes it better delivery, and maybe it's the handling of the direction, maybe it's the script. Because, for example, when building up, it's like, this is the 11th, this is the 12th. When Vince Vaughn wakes up and the girl realizes she's in Vince's body, looks in the mirror, screams, ah! Boom, flash cuts, titles. Friday the 13th. That's the date. That made me laugh. And so while the girl who's got the killer's soul in her, she's not wearing this red jacket, and she's behaving much more differently. While Vince, I thought it was entertaining, him trying to convince the two teen friends that he is who he says he is. And the way he does it, and he knows stuff that only she would know. I thought they had good chemistry, all the characters. I thought they worked well with each other. Alan Ruck from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it was nice to see him in here as a very shitty shop teacher. Crocodile tears does excuse your poor planning. He's a very dickhead teacher, but he does get his comeuppance in a big, bold way. I would say his is the best death in the movie. Well, I guess that's spoiler. Sorry, I just spoiled it. But like I said, I thought this movie had some nice balance of humor as well as gore. Like I said, you had a fun idea like Happy Death Day and the Final Girls, but it's nice that someone did that and still kept the gore intact. So it's a nice blending of ideas and giving people the gore. Getting more into spoilers starting now. Spoilers. I liked how the girls is reacting to being in Vince's body, like realizing how strong he or she is, like this jock talking shit, and so as the Vince Vaughn body lifts the guy up, and the guy pisses his pants. He's like, "You, did you piss your pants?" Like, the way that played out, I thought was rather entertaining. I thought it had some smart ideas, like when the teen girl with the killer in her sees them, she does something smart. She screams, "Ah, there's a killer, there's a killer." She does a smart thing where thus it brings the cops after them. I like when a movie does something rather smart like that. I appreciate that. And it does try to have a heart. I will say the heart worked a little bit better in Happy Death Day and The Final Girls. Which, funny enough, they all three deal with a parent. Yeah, yeah, all three, funny enough, all deal with a parent who has died. So, now that I think about it, it is a bit redundant. Because in The Final Girls, it was her mom who passed away, who was on the movie screen. And I would say of the three, that's what I liked the most, because I felt the most heart in that. Happy Death Day, I didn't mind. That was more like a Groundhog Day type of slasher. But then another thing was her, the death of one parent and trying to deal and cope with it. And you have that here as well. So another thing about this, maybe it was, that's why it wasn't as effective. I didn't think about that until I said out loud that I have seen it before and it was okay. It's just I've seen it done better. At least 2 other times. So like I said, I think the heart in those were a little bit better, but here at least you bring the gore into it. And Vince Vaughn, like I said, I think he gave a very fun performance. It was interesting to see him as the killer, this very monosyllabic and doing certain things. I don't know if he was doing it with the mask at the beginning of the film. I guess I can assume he was. But like I said, there's some nice kills. The acting is solid. There's some fun bits of humor, like the gay kid has the killer tied up and the mom comes home. It's like, what's going on? Is this some sex thing? Mom, I gotta tell you, I'm straight. And she's like, yeah, right. Like, she doesn't believe him. She doesn't believe her own son. Yeah, I expect that you're straight. Just something about that just made me laugh. So I won't give every single thing away. But interesting idea. Solid cast with good actors. Vince Vaughn having a lot of fun with his role. It does have some good gore. It's only like 80, 90 minutes long. The direction was competent. And at least tries to have a little bit of heart. Like I said, I've seen it done better in other films. But yeah, Freaky I thought was a rather solid movie. And if I did my 2020 best list, I would put it up there. I would put it on the list. So yeah, I know you can barely see me, but I apologize. So with that said, thanks for watching. It's well worth a look. Like I say, if you like films like The Final Girls, Happy Death Day, it's a fun film in that realm of movies. And like I said, if you're disappointed that those didn't have gore, this at least would give you that other bump as well. So, and Vince Vaughn, like I said, Vince Vaughn, I do like him, and it's nice to see him in this type of film. Like I said, much more successful as in a horror film than the Cycle remake. So, with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.